I'm excited to be able to put together this video to document the building of our barn. But what I realized is that this is so much more than building a barn. This was the start of us building a totally different life, us creating a new life, a new norm, a new standard for us and our kids. And it's been so emotional as I put these pictures together, and I've loved looking back and thinking about and remembering these early days of getting our life started here on the mountain. In late July, we hired someone to come out with their bulldozer and to flatten the footprint area for our barn. In August, I had our baby number 5, and 3 or 4 weeks later, we started coming up every single weekend to work on the barn. Zach would work Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. until 7, 8, or 9 p.m. Thursday evening, he'd get home from work. I'd have the kids all packed. We'd get in the car. We'd drive 4 hours. We'd stay in our little pop-up camper. And Zach would wake up Friday morning, and him and Lincoln would start building that barn. That fall, I felt like all I did was pack bags, drive, cook outside, take care of my baby, take care of my kids, drive home, unpack, do laundry, homeschool the kids, and then the next thing you know, it was Thursday night and we were packing again and heading back up the mountain. So when it started getting a little cooler though, it got too hard. It was hard to have a baby out there. I had to spend more and more time just hanging out inside the pop-up camper. I needed to be able to have some type of routine and a little bit of schedule for my own sanity with the kids. So I started staying home with the 4 youngest kids, and Zach would just take Lincoln, and they would leave every Thursday night, go work at the land Friday and Saturday. They'd come home early Sunday morning, just in time to get home and change, and then take me and the other kids to church. It was a crazy life. I look back at it now and I can't believe we survived. I can't believe everything that I did, especially with this little baby. It was insane. We were really lucky, really fortunate that year that there wasn't an early snow. And Zach was able to go up, and he was working comfortably with Lincoln throughout most of November and almost all of December. We ended up finding a super old RV that we bought, and we ended up parking right outside the barn because it was more insulated and held the heat better. That way, when Lincoln and Zach came up every weekend, they had something that was a little bit more substantial than a pop-up camper with canvas walls. They kept this up through most of January. Unfortunately, we got so much snow that they had to stop working in February, and Zach got so much work that he needed to finish that it kind of halted our building progress. But come March, he was able to clear things up, and we got the shell of the barn all on. While Zach and Lincoln were busy trying to finish up what they could on the barn, I was home with the kiddos, packing up our house and getting our house ready to sell. One of the hardest things about moving and starting this process was actually convincing other people that we weren't crazy and that we were going to be okay. I think most people, they can't fathom doing what we were doing, and so they thought, if I can't do it, then you shouldn't do it. Or you're crazy. What are you going to do for work? What are you going to do for school? How can you live an hour away from a grocery store? Just most of our friends, I mean, we had this comfortable life where everything was within a 10-minute drive. Everything that we needed. 24-hour restaurants, 24-hour grocery stores. So it was hard for people to imagine that we were going to move and have a completely different lifestyle flip. And it totally freaked them out. I wasn't nervous at all. In fact, the more and more nervous other people got for me, the more and more confident I became in knowing that, like, we could do this. Now, part of that is because Zach is like superhuman when it comes to building and doing things. He's so smart, he can figure things out, and he's confident. It's just one hurdle after another. You don't stop. They're not obstacles, they're hurdles, and you got to figure out how to get over them. It's so when things come up, when problems arise, or you come to a little tiny roadblock, you got to figure out how to get over it, and you just keep moving. You just keep moving. And it's always been like that. So I was confident with this mountain man of mine that he was actually going to be more in his element now, and that we could make this work for our family. Because it felt right, because it was right. It was what we were supposed to do.
Okay, going up the stairs. We're going to put in a front entry door here where this orange line is. There'll be like a bench seat right there. With some hooks. Turn to the left and there's this little foyer area. The round circle on the ground is where this spiral staircase will be. Look this way, this is just open. A couple couches and a fireplace right there in the middle. Back this way. This will all be kitchen. Refrigerator in the middle. Range over there. Sink over there. Deck out the back. And bathrooms over here. There'll be hot doors here to get in. You go into the left, there'll be a little door, toilet room, vanity cabinet, shower with the window in there. And then off the front entrance, little room right here, the window, closet, and then back out here, the left, it's their master bedroom, closet, window out to the barn. That's it.
So here's the short version of what moving into the loft looked like. In April, when we moved to the land, we had a tent set up that had a tub of clothes for each one of our family members. We slept in the RV and the pop-up camper, rain, snow, shine, whatever. Then at the end of May, we had our utility room and our storage room completed. We moved out of the RV and out of the pop-up camper into the storage room, and we stayed there until October of 2016. We didn't have running water. We didn't have electricity. We were using composting toilets and bucket showers during this whole time. Basically, think camping and roughing it for about 6 months. And yeah, when I moved here, I had an 8-month-old baby. My kids were such rock stars. If they weren't helping Zach with a project, then they were helping out with the babies so that I could be helping Zach with the project. Every day was filled from 7 a.m. until 9 or 10 p.m. of working, building, backhoeing, staining, sanding, nailing, drywalling, insulating, everything. It was just insane. And every little project we got completed seemed like a huge victory. It's been a little over 3 years since we started building the loft. Come on in and see what it looks like. We opted for no bench here in the entryway. We have lots of shoes and coats that need to go in there. And here it is. Over here we have our bathroom. We have a pocket door so we can close this off when we want to. But we have our shower room, and then a sink and our toilet room. This is the last project in our loft that has to get done. We've been using this utility sink and it's been working just fine, but building a vanity and putting in a real sink is one of the next 3 or 4 things on our priority list of things to do. So we did end up building up here in our trusses. Here we have like 20 feet of living space that way and 20 feet of living space that way, where we have mattresses. It only goes about 4.5 feet tall. It's the kids' rooms and they're like total pigsties, and we're totally not going to do a tour of that today. That will be on another video. They aren't finished, so they are able to put nails in the trusses and hang things, but that's where they keep all their clothes and all of their personal items and stuff like that. This is our extra bedroom that has a bunk bed with 3 beds. There's a trundle and our baby's crib and the toys. There's also a computer in here around the corner for another school station, since we have 4.5 homeschoolers right now. It's nice to be able to spread out. And this is just a giant barn door that kind of gives you the privacy in there that you need, but then during the day when it's open, it lets the light in, and in the summertime a breeze go through when we're not using the swamp cooler. So, and then here is the master bedroom. You're hysterical. And that's it. That's our loft. 1,100 square feet on this main level, 500 square feet upstairs in the loft of the loft. That completed our barn. That completed our transformation from city life up here to kind of country life, mountain living, off-grid, homesteading, whatever you want to call it. We've loved this adventure so far, and we can't wait for the next one.